VIX cools off in the opening session. And open interest in mid-cap IT stocks surge as after traders take fresh positions in several of these IT companies. TCS is the top gainer on the Nifty after the IT bellwether reported the best dollar revenue growth in 14 quarters and beating street estimates on most parameters. And Fortis Healthcare surges as much as 2% after the board approves the formation of a committee to evaluate binding offers. And Indian bond yields spike more than 1% today after the MPC minutes hinted of a more hawkish policy in the future.
All right, those are the top headlines at this hour. Let's take a look as to what's happening in the futures and options market. It's definitely been a muted start, but we've seen some bit of selling pressure now in the markets. If you could just pull up Nifty, which is now trading with cuts of almost 21 points, 10,544 is the level where Nifty is currently trading. Pull up the futures as well. Remember, the futures today, this morning, have been trading at a discount, not a very good sign. Futures trading with a discount of almost 2 points as we speak. And the Bank Nifty futures and Bank Nifty both are in focus as the spot Bank Nifty has breached the 25,000 mark. Remember, that was a major support on the index. So that slipped nearly 180 points this morning, and the futures of Bank Nifty are trading at a discount of nearly 4 points as we speak. Well, as Agam highlighted in the headlines, that some bit of open interest addition has been seen for IT stocks, and clearly Nifty IT is the top sectoral gainer in today's session as we speak. The Nifty IT index is up as much as 3.5%, and metal stocks have seen a bit of cool off. So the Nifty metals index has seen a bit of selling pressure in today's trade. But talking about the options data, what's happening there? The 10,500 and the 10,600. So now once again the out of the money call strikes have become active. 10,500 has added nearly 3.5 lakh shares, and the 10,600 strike has added about 4 lakh shares as we speak. On the put side, you've got the 10,500 strike, which has added 1.7 lakh shares. Remember, that's the strike which is sitting with maximum open interest so far, and the 10,400 as well as the 10,300 put strikes have been active in the opening session. In terms of what the FIs have been doing till now, well, they've been building on long position and covering some of their shorts on index futures. So if you look at long to short ratio, which is still below 1, but it's been inching higher. Currently, it stands somewhere about a 0.6. So let's see if the long to short ratio can touch the mark of 1, which most of the derivatives analysts have been watching out for.
Right. Well, Navneet, there's no prizes for guessing. The top buzzing sector, of course, in today's day of trade is the mid-cap IT sector. Actually, I'm not going to leave TCS out in the fray, but before that, I'd like to address Mindtree on your screens out there. Is looking at another 21.5%, addition towards open interest in towards longs, NIT Technologies, KPRT Technologies, not too far behind. We've also had more traction come in Hexaware Tech. On the losing end, we're looking at weakness in those two PSU banks, as you can see out there on your screen. Big shorts build up coming in for Bank of India as well as Canara Bank. Both these are declining by quite an extent. In fact, Bank of India is taking a knock of as much as nearly 6% in today's day of trade. So while on the gaining end, we have substantial traction building in the information technology space and mid caps as well as the large caps, we're looking at more weakness in the likes of Bank of India and Canara Bank. Let's also take a look at the list of all the stocks which are looking at decline in open interest. V-Guard Industries, of course, which did see substantial gains yesterday, is looking at a little bit of unwinding in today's day of trade. But other than that, we have very little change in L&T Finance Holding, MGL, Ambuja Cements, and IndusInd Bank. Today's day of trade will most certainly be about the information technology sector.
That's right, Agam, and some support coming in there, or else we would have seen more cuts coming in for Nifty in today's session. But before we get our guest in the show, here's a reminder: if you have any queries in the futures and options market, please call us now on 022-4540-4141. You can also write to us on our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and the ones who are watching us on YouTube. You can put your queries there, but do not forget to put that all-important hashtag of AskBQ. Let's welcome our F&O experts for the day then. Jay Thakkar of Anand Rathi and Navneet Daga of IIFL Wealth are joining us on the show now. Good morning to both of you, gentlemen. Navneet, let me come to you first. The momentum has been on the upside in the last at least 11 to 12 trading session. Considering the dip that we've seen so far, would you use that as an opportunity to create fresh longs, or would you stay away?
Well, good morning. Look, the index is at least in a no man's land. It's looking likely that it will. It's looking likely that it might consolidate in the band of that 100 points of 10,600 on the higher side, because it's being the impending resistance point. And similarly, on the lower side, the kind of put writing that we have seen of 10,500 doesn't look to me that it will break either that level that easily. So, in the fag end of the expiry, it's looking likely that we might see a more consolidation in next 3 to 4 trading sessions, and we might find the Nifty in this 100-point band itself. But the larger trades are happening on the broader markets, and that's where stock-specific ideas have been performing well. So we'll be more focused on that side.
Okay, that's Navneet's view on the benchmarks right now. Jay, good morning to you as well. How are you viewing trade on the indices? Is the recent up move there to stay, or can we expect consolidation now?
Hi, good morning to both of you. I think that the current move is likely to continue on the upside. The reason being is the today's mainly focused sector, and that's IT, and I have been in fact calling for a bottom as well as a rally in the sector of the year on IT since past couple of months. I would say since December 2017 I've been saying, and then it's been forming new highs now, and I think yes, it's still likely to inch higher. My target for the year remains intact. That's 18,300, which I've been continuously saying right from the 10 to 11,000 on Nifty IT. I think IT is one sector which will continue to drive the market on the upside. Any dip, the support will be provided by the IT sector. The large caps, in fact, are looking still good. Infosys, maybe, or TCS, Wipro, HCL Tech, those all are looking good. And I think whatever correction had to happen, in these stocks have happened, and now again the up move has resumed. This is one sector which is likely to provide a good support at the lower levels. Just the banking sector, I would say that that's under pressure, and the kind of rally which we have seen 2,000 point approximately coming in Bank Nifty in the last couple of trading weeks. So some profit booking cannot be ruled out there, and it's just because of the banking and the financial sector, and maybe I would say other non-banking spaces like metals, which are quite volatile. That might just add on some pressure at the higher levels, and that is what is making it difficult to inch, making it difficult for Nifty to inch higher above the levels of say 10,630, which was earlier the peak. But I think once this things settle down, we'll again see the rally resuming on the upside. At least for the short term, I believe that 10,485 is a very crucial support for the short-term traders. For the positional traders, it's 10,400 till those levels in this series are held. The probability of a short-term move till 10,630 can't be ruled out. And once it takes off 10,630, then definitely it's a good breakout, because that was where the double top pattern was formed. So about 10,630, there's a lot of room on the upside. So watch out for these levels till the expiry now next week. That is what we have. And 10,630, 10,485, that's roughly around 150 points range is where the Nifty is trading within. That might continue till we don't see a breakout or a breakdown.
All right, that's Jay's strategy on Nifty. As he clearly mentioned, he expects a target of 10,630, and he also suggests a stop loss of 10,485. Remember, 10,630 is a level with majority of the technical analysts have been saying that's a big resistance for Nifty on the upside. So let's move on and get some option strategy. I guess Navneet Daga has option strategy for us in today's trading session. He has a short straddle on Nifty Bank, but before we discuss that, let's find out what that exactly means. A short straddle is when one sells at the money calls and puts in anticipation of decrease in volatility. When volatility decreases, followed by contraction in option premium, the strategy becomes profitable. Navneet, over to you. Take us through your short straddle on Bank Nifty.
Look, as we discussed that I'm expecting a lot of consolidation in the market, and there is likely chances that we might surmise in this 100 points range on the Nifty and somewhere in the 500 points band in the Bank Nifty as well. So having a similar view, looking at the options data, Bank Nifty, if you look out the 25,000 call and put data both, If I combine the total open interest is almost 40%, almost 70% of the total futures open interest in the Bank Nifty. So it's looking likely that the 25,000 strike price would become a pain point for the market, and there's a chances that Bank Nifty might hover in this particular band itself. So I'm selling in 25,000 call and put options for the monthly expiry, that is the 26th of April. The combined premium that we are receiving somewhere in the range of 380 to 400 points. I'd expect that the premium to shrink down because of the theta decay and vega decay for the next coming week or so. So my targets in this strategy is almost 120 points to 200 points on the total spread, and I'll keep a very strict stop loss if that spreads widens towards 480 odd levels on the Bank Nifty 25,000 call and put.
Okay, so that's the short straddle on the Bank Nifty coming in from Navneet, and we're getting a lot of queries right now. So before we start getting in and addressing queries, let's just take what our experts have to recommend for our viewers. Jay, I'm going to come back to you. You have 3 long calls, and one of them is interestingly Infosys, which, where the entire information technology pack is buzzing. Can you take us through your calls for the day?
Definitely. See, I have, in fact, since this is the FNO show, so definitely, I would be recommending more of the FNO trades, but there would be one cash idea as well from the same sector, which I would like to recommend. Initially, I would come to the, futures calls, and that's on Infosys, because see, this stock has been consolidating within the range of around, say, 1185 to almost 1100 on the lower side, and the range is getting narrower and narrower, and in that process, it has formed a good symmetrical triangle pattern on the daily charts, and I'm expecting a breakout from the same on the upside. The reason being is that, it seems to have completed the wave E of this consolidation, which is the last leg of any consolidation. And post results, we had seen that Infi was under pressure, and it had fallen right from the levels of 1200 to 1100. So we saw that 8% cut coming in Infi post result. But then with the overall IT sector doing quite good, the results of Mindtree, say, or TCS, you see, are coming quite good, and Infosys results were also quite in line with expectation. But the guidance for the IT sector is to coming quite positive, that is in double digits growth and all. So I think that is definitely going to help out the sector as well as the stocks like Infosys as well, and we are seeing some good long build up happening in today's trading session in Infosys. The probability of this stock inching towards the levels of and breaking out, in fact, eventually on the upside, the levels of 1185 is quite high, and thereafter inching towards 1250 is quite good. So till the expiry, I think Infosys is likely to head towards 1250. That's the short term target. The stop loss on the lower side will be 1130. The second buy recommendation I've got is on India Cements. Now see, cement pack has recently done quite good, and India Cements has formed a good inverse head and shoulders pattern on the daily charts. The right shoulder of the same seems to have gotten complete. The short term target comes to 159. One can buy this with a stop loss of 148. Ashok Leyland is another stock, and which is quite in action in today's trading session. If you see that there is good amount of long bid up seen in this series, the stock is continuously forming high tops and high bottom. And the kind of long build up we have seen in this stock, the probability of this stock inching towards the levels of, say, almost 157 is quite high. One can buy this with a stop loss of 149. And one cash stock, which I had said that since it is an FNO show, but I would however like to recommend, because it has provided a good breakout on the upside from the right rectangular pattern, and that's on Cerebra. Cerebra has clearly broken out from the levels of 60, 62, that was the resistance earlier, and now that will act as a very crucial support. So with the stop loss of 62, one can buy Cerebra, targeting around 85 to 90, coming in, say, around a week or so.
Okay, those are some strategies coming in on stock futures. Also, Jay highlighted Cerebra for the cash segment. But Navneet, coming to you, you have 2 long calls for the day, and the stocks that you've chosen, we've been observing some fresh long positions being building up for them.